Now, I need you, in answer to your question, Kia, I need you to be able to see, you won't be seeing me, but you'll be seeing a series of slides that I'll be referencing. So I'm going to turn the video off. You'll hear me, and you'll be seeing the slide presentation as I walk through it, okay? Does that work for everybody? Okay, so on we go. First of all, Kia, thank you very much for joining. Kimberly, thanks very much for joining. And for whomever else is, I know there's one more person with you, Kimberly. My objectives in this session, and by the way, Kia, I know that you're traveling, and Karnat, welcome. And I will keep this as concise and as brief as I can. At the same time, I want to be effective and efficient, and I want to make sure that, that we all get off to the right start. This is a new member orientation. However, though it's a new member orientation, I'm nevertheless going to do a quick recap of what Kannaway is as we get to how do we do Kannaway. And so, what is Kannaway? Kannaway is a direct selling company. As you know, I've been in this industry for a very long time, and I find here some unique features about Kannaway. I find the company fully utilizing all that has worked historically in the industry, and I find there being some complete unique advantages. Kannaway is some things that are very, very important. Of course, family oriented. That depends on leadership structure and hierarchy. That's up to us and the way that we create it. Sustainable. When you come to really understand the industrial hemp story and really understand the values that it has to have this business expand, to have the use of hemp grow, to return to where it was at one point in our country. It's good for the environment. It's sustainable. I'll have a wonderful experience actually on Tuesday evening. Dr.STUART TITUS, who is one of the world's most renowned researchers in CBD oil, the medical benefits, the health benefits, cannabidiol. He will be here at my home making a presentation. Stuart is one of the product formulators, and he is the CEO of the parent organization, which owns Kannaway, driven by science. And then very important to note that everything we do is all natural and is botanical. This company has a series of things about it that are completely unique and first. Kannaway is first to create a mainstream, natural, botanical CBD. CBD stands for cannabidiol oil, CBD brand. Kannaway is the first to launch a respected cannabinoid supplement and pharmaceutical line. Kannaway is first to develop strict quality standards through rigorous triple lab testing. It is the first direct sales company to offer hemp-based products, and it's the first company to use hemp to combat aging, skin problems, and low vitality. One of the things that I like so very much about this company is there are so many redeliverers of the same story. So many companies in the industry simply put a new label on a story that's been told 20 times before and tell it again. That is not the case here. This is not the repackaging of someone else's message. This is a company that is in fact a series of firsts. And by the way, my involvement with the company started as a consultant back in December. And it was after a series of experiences that I had with the company, and when I came to understand that this is not simply a lookalike, this is not a me too, this is in fact a company that is the first in a variety of areas, my enthusiasm grew and made the decision that you have for the business. Now in this discussion, I won't go through this history of hemp, but I encourage you to go to Kannaway.com and watch a quick video, and you will see that hemp, industrial hemp, has been a part of the United States and the global economy since it began. Part of the United States, certainly. Hemp was a staple crop in American agriculture. And I believe that when the story is properly told and hemp again becomes a mainstream crop, that it will be good for all. But the history of hemp itself is very, very valuable for each of us to understand so that we can understand the magnitude, the nature of the opportunity before us, and also understand to watch the step 1 video, and it will describe in about 6 minutes the history of hemp. It's fascinating. One of the things that led me to make this decision was as I listened to Dr.STUART TITUS, the gentleman who will be here in my home in a couple of days, speaking in a variety of settings, and I heard him describe the fact that our bodies actually have a cannabinoid system. And if we just read through quickly the bullet points here from Dr. TITUS, the endogenous cannabinoid system is the human body's largest self-regulatory system. Earlier today, Kimberly sent me a text and said, well, Randy, what should I tell a person will do? What will be the effects of this product? And I think that this slide describes it very well. It balances mood, sleep, appetite, and even hormone production, influences homeostasis and the harmony of all bodily functions. Now, if it influences homeostasis, if we get our body to a point of homeostasis, what that means in the simplest form is that it's doing everything the way that it was designed to do it. Has CB1 receptors throughout the brain and central nervous system, uses CB2 receptors to regulate and maintain the immune system, is calibrated with our plant-based hemp products, and a deficiency in the ECS can upset the body's balance, the endogenous cannabinoid system. So this is not a, it's a message that I think is relatively easy to redeliver. It's not a message that lacks power and substance. This is an extraordinarily important message. And I once again emphasize the fact that, in my opinion, we did not simply choose to get involved with another direct selling company. This is a company of first. There are extraordinary things to be said here. Very quickly, what is the Kannaway product offering grouping? The group of bottles there on the far left, the white ones, are called Can Active. That is a skincare line for troubled skin. It is absolutely remarkable. The Defined skincare line, you'll all receive it shortly with your starter pack, if that's in fact how you began. Really incredible. You're going to love it. You're going to love but for one who has troubled skin, it is Can Active. For the vast majority of people, it is Defined. And you'll notice over the little tub on the far right, that is the salve. That salve is something that I believe, if properly understood, is of near universal use. If some of you I know were involved, in fact, Kimberly, you were involved with a company and you consumed a product called Active. This product, Defined, is as widespread in its need. Everybody needs to have that product, whether it be because of a periodic headache and you rub a little bit of it on the temples, whether it be muscle soreness, whether it be abrasions and wounds. It's a product for nearly everybody. And then we see the Revive line. Revive has an AM component, which is 10 milligrams of CBD oil. It has a PM formula, which is 4 milligrams of CBD oil, 3, excuse me. It has, I got those right. It's 31 milligrams in the Revive Prime, and that is, in my estimation, the most important product the company sells, Revive Prime. It's 31 milligrams of CBD. There is not a way on planet Earth to get a higher quantity or quality of CBD in a single dose serving than in Revive Prime, and then there's the daily capsule that goes with it. So there we see the simple but very, very substantive product line. Janelle Kim, I'm happy to note that I'll be having dinner with Janelle and her husband a couple of days ago. Janelle is the one who has taken the various botanicals that are combined with CBD to do the creation of the products. And Bebong, that simply means secret and passed down from generation to generation. And Janelle Kim is the creator of this particular formula, the group of formulas, including both the skincare line and including the CBD oil lines. For the sake of brevity here, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, except simply to again state that the Defined line would be for general consumption for perhaps 80% of people you know. I believe that this particular grouping is the grouping that floats the company's boat. This is what it's all about for me. At this upcoming presentation that I described at my home on Tuesday night, Dr. Stuart TITUS will be here. I have people coming who are suffering from potentially and quite likely life-ending diseases. They're coming to learn only about the product. They are, of course, not interested right in the building and develop a business. They're in survival mode. There'll be people here who are here to learn how that product can influence their ability to withstand the devastation of chemotherapy. There'll be people here who are struggling with every kind of illness that you can think of. I will be very, very careful. I'm not a doctor. I don't prescribe. I can't make health statements. I have become an incredible enthusiast for what the Revive line does for getting CBD into the body. Revive Pro is 31 milligrams per day. Revive AM is 10 milligrams per day. The Revive Midday Balance Capsule is 4. The Revive PM is 3. And there is Revive in each one of the usages of the salve. And so again, what does it do? This question was posed to me earlier today. What does it do? Boost energy levels, increase vitality, balance bodily systems, improve mental clarity, promote quality sleep, encourage long, and detoxifies. So that's pretty broad. And what it says to me is that we ourselves should be using we should use this product with joy and gratitude, frankly, that we came upon it. And we should be encouraging everybody we know, because doesn't everyone want that list of things I've just described? Can Active to treat problem skin, blemishes, acne, and so on. And I know this to be truly extraordinary, truly extraordinary in its effectiveness. Our cause, Kannaway, is involved and is a believer in the idea of giving back. And there are projects already. My heart has been touched by the influence that CBD oil has had in the lives of so many children suffering severe illnesses. And Kannaway is involved in a variety of charitable efforts, and specifically in providing that product to some who cannot acquire it on their own. The industrial hemp market is growing dramatically for reasons I think that are obvious to us. Direct selling is likewise an industry that is growing because we have increasing numbers of people who simply are not prepared for retirement, and we have large numbers of people in the earlier parts of their career who are finding themselves running into roadblocks and ceilings of one kind or another. On this session, it is not my desire to describe the Kannaway compensation plan. I'll do a web session that is specifically devoted to that sometime in the next week. Right now, I'll simply tell you that as it relates to my direct selling knowledge and expertise, perhaps my area of greatest strength is in compensation plan strategy and effectiveness. And there are things about this plan that, once again, are unique, that are not simply being done again, that someone has done before. I'm especially impressed with the minimum income guarantees. If you just focus on number 5, the number 5 block in the center of the screen, it identifies the minimum income guarantee that one has when you reach the various qualifications in the compensation plan. I'll describe how this all works when we have a specific compensation plan web session, but that minimum income guarantee is of great value to me. It tells me I can show a person, if you tell me, Randy, I need to make $12,000 a month, I can show you exactly what you have to do that. Randy, I need to make $20,000 a month, I can show you exactly what you have to do that. If you're simply meaning to create some secondary income and augment the family budget, I can show you exactly how to do that. And I do want to state before we leave the comp plan, and another important thought is that here I see an ability for a brand new member to become profitable, to recover back what their entry fee was, to become profitable and to start to make money. I see that as being a possibility here so much more readily and simply than is typical in the industry, more available than anything that I've been involved with in the industry. We now will shift gears. That was a very quick overview of what Kannaway is, and this session was designed as a new member orientation for Kia. And Kia, thank you very much for being here and for your patience. Karna, that session where we just walked through the what it is, while I didn't know that you would be on, that is the component that would be probably most important to catch you up to why these others have said, yes, I'm going to do that. And now we completely shift gears. We stop talking about what it is and we talk about how to do it. And this will likewise be a brief session. I know that Kia is, I think, pulled over beside the road, and I'm very, very sensitive to that. So we'll walk quickly through these steps that are required to get started quickly, and not just to get started quickly, but to start in such a way that the business has the proper foundation, so we have reason to believe that it can grow and grow and grow. Okay, Kimberly's gone. Okay, very good. So on we go. When we talk about the steps to getting started, then I would suggest to you that there is no luck and there is no guesswork. There is a proven and oh, you're at home. Okay, very good. I'm glad. So there's a proven, predictable pattern of activities. There is no luck and there is no guesswork. And I would now say to each of you that you can do this. And I say that with confidence, though I don't know you. You can do this. Why can I say that? It's because there's no luck and there's no guesswork. There is a proven and predictable pattern, though I don't have natural abilities or required talent to succeed. I know that. It doesn't take any special, unique set of talents to make this happen. Any of us who become willing can refine the talents that we have into the skills that are required to have success. And the degree of success that we seek will determine to what degree we must refine those talents into skills. When I told you a few moments ago that It's easier, in my estimation, certainly more attainable to become marginally profitable in this company than others. There's a variety of reasons for that. One of them is the compensation plan itself, but one of them is the ease of, I guess it's the demand for awareness. When I tell people that I'm involved with a project that is using CBD oil for health benefits, it is very, very surprising to me how big the current already is that's flowing through our nation. People know. People know. They're aware. They don't know how to get it. They don't know exactly what it means. But I found that when I talk about CBD, there's a large percentage of people who have at least some fleeting knowledge of what it is, and they want to know more. And so because people want to know more, then it puts us in an environment of having to convince less. They want to know more. And when they want to know more, then certainly it's easier for us to deliver information that people are eager to hear than it is for us to be in an environment of trying to cause people to want to hear. So I believe that you can succeed. And as I come to know and understand what level of success you want to have, then I will know and understand how I can best help you accomplish it. The purpose of this workbook is, and by the way, you folks are all getting a very, very sneak preview. The little flip chart that I went through, those slides I went through a few moments ago, those have not even yet been introduced by the company. This is all still draft form. The little getting started work program we go through now has not been introduced. This is in the next week or 10 days. When we talk about timing and direct selling, it can be argued that when you are on which others build, you make more money than when you are building on someone else's foundation. And so we get a chance now, and you get a chance to be the foundation upon which others build for the next decade. Now, I won't tell you that that particular part of it is easiest. The creation of a basic leadership hierarchy and foundation, along with those challenges come unique opportunities. But very simply this, when you are one building on a foundation built by another, there's a certain quality and size of opportunity. When you instead have the opportunity to become the foundation upon which others build. Now, that's quite different. That's a different opportunity, and that's the possibility that we have before us right now. I envision this simple stairway to success. Sometimes I draw it as a ladder. And we have these series of steps that I will illustrate during this session. The very first step you've already taken. It is to enroll in Kannaway. And then there's going to be a series of steps that we take. Now, I'd just like you to reflect on this thought for a moment. If you're going to climb a staircase and you attempt to skip a few steps, it's true that you could probably get away with skipping a step. You may get away with skipping two. If you try to skip too many steps, you will fall. My encouragement to you is to not skip any steps. My encouragement is to take all the risk out. Take all the risk out, take all the luck out, take all the guesswork out, follow every step the way that I outline it, and then I'm very willing to tell you that we together can accomplish profound things. Step number one is to enroll in Kannaway. You've done that. That's already done. So step number one is essentially completed. Step number two is to place an initial Kannaway order. Now it says your initial Kannaway order. I want to amend this just a little bit. Before this is introduced, this will be amended. Place an appropriate Kannaway order. Now I'm aware, I think in your case, you placed an initial order for products that you selected, and that's great. The business volume was something over 200. That's great, and I may be mistaken on that. Here's what I want you all to know and understand as it relates to this idea of what is an initial Kannaway order. The product packs have been created so that people would logically select the item grouping that would give them a broad-based product experience. When Kimberly receives her startup pack, it will have in it both the skincare and it will have the various most important of the herbal formulas, the CBD elixirs. Because she's using all of them, she'll be able to refer to someone else about all of them. Whenever someone places an initial order that does not include one of the product segments, my life experience has it sort of projects to me that we will tend to talk about those products we've used. We won't tend to talk about those we have not. And so the first reason that the suggested product pack for those for whom it's appropriate is that executive pack is simply because that grants access to an experience with everything the company sells. Second, I want to set you up to make the most money that you can make. The real bottom line is I want you to make the most money you can make. It took me a long time to figure this out, but I have for some time now stopped focusing on my own outcome. I focus on your outcome, When you accomplish your objectives, then through the back door, I accomplish mine. When I had those in the other order, it didn't work too well. When you enroll a person, if you yourself have met the requirements in the compensation plan, which means when you've enrolled 3, when you have joined the business with an executive pack and you have sponsored 3 who have an executive pack, you then get, as the very result of that behavior, you are able to earn triple fast start bonuses. At step number 2, the thing that is important is for every new person who enrolls to understand the long-term financial ramifications of whatever their initial enrollment was. Then to make sure that what they've done is what is right for them. I want you to do what is right for you, and not just you, but every person that you enroll. I want every person who joins us to join placing what is for him or her the right order. Not too big, not too small. One that is correct based upon the goal, the financial circumstance, the willingness to work, based upon proper business building and duplication processes, and so on. Step number 1 is to enroll in Kannaway. Step number 2 is to place an appropriate initial order, which grants access to widespread product consumption for personal successes. And by the way, these are the foundation blocks on which we build a large business. Step number 2 is to be certain that everyone places what is for him or her an appropriate initial order. And step number 3 is to not just complete your SmartShip enrollment, but to create a foundation that is simply unbreakable. In my life in the direct selling industry, which has been long and successful, I've never had a product where I could say with such absolute certainty, we need to all be using this, all of us, all the time, every day. Because that's true, I believe we have the opportunity to build the most rock-solid SmartShip enrollment. You cannot simply go to a convenience store someplace and buy a product like we sell. You can't go and buy online something like we sell. You cannot replace what we sell. What we have, the quantity, the quality, the purity, what we're selling can simply not be replaced someplace else. And if you can find it, you can't find it for less money. That gives us the very best chance I have ever seen to create an auto-ship foundation, which allows us each to work for a season, and when we want, step aside with confidence that that auto-ship foundation will continue to produce the income stream that we sought when we set this whole process in motion at the outset. I don't know, Kia, if you've yet established your own auto-ship. However, if you're not, and Daniel, if you have not yet established your own auto-ship, I implore you, at the conclusion of this session, establish your own auto-ship. And I have to remind you of the life experience that I had 20-some years ago. I was being taught the basics of success in this business, and a gentleman named Nathan said, "Randy, you got to be on auto-ship." And I said, "Well, why don't I just buy some more of this stuff when what I've got's all gone?" And he said, "Well, Randy, if you don't get on auto-ship, I won't support you." And so I got on auto-ship, and as soon as he left, I got off auto-ship. And I said, "Kimberly telling me that you have." Well, that's great, and thank you for that. But now let me explain to you why. We need to understand that besides our own product consumption, we establish auto-ship for the benefit of our organization, not for our own benefit, and certainly not for the benefit of our upline. We want people in our business to successfully separate themselves from the generation of income. Take your thought out of it. It's not that you want you to separate yourself from the generation of income, but you want people in your business to separate themselves from the generation of income. When people in your business have committed completely without hesitation or reservation to the idea of consumption of the Kannaway product line because of what it does for us, and always remaining active on auto-ship because of what that does for the foundation building of the business. Only when your group does that will they separate themselves from the generation of income. The laws of the universe assure that your group will only truly embrace that principle as you embrace that principle. Step number 4, visit Kannaway.com. Just go to your back office and review everything. Go to your back office and look at everything that's there. Now that will be important because over the course of the coming weeks, there'll be multiple new items added to your back office. These very resources that I'm using now are not yet in the back office. New audio resources, new video resources. The company has an upcoming event. And by the way, it will be what I'm considering to be the launching of certainly my business within Kannaway. It's coming up in a couple of weeks in San Diego. And if it's possible for you to be there, I invite you to be there. If you can be there. It would be such an eye-opening experience for you. And once again, you would have complete knowledge of the kinds of positioning that you have in the company, You'll be there with, this will be the gathering of people that is the creation of that foundation. And we're talking about something like 150 folks. You get a chance to do this and to be the foundation upon which others build. That is a truly remarkable thing. At any rate, visit Kannaway.com, not just once, but frequently, and learn about everything that is in that back office. Step 5 is to build belief. When our belief level is high, then our candidate list is big. When our belief level is high, then our candidate list is populated with powerful people, as well as with people who just desperately need our products and maybe don't need to make any money. When your belief level is high, your activity level is high. And these things sort of dovetail. Whenever I speak to a candidate, my belief actually goes up. Every time I speak to a candidate, my belief goes up. Just yesterday, I had a young woman here. Her name was Lauren, and we started talking about what CBD oil could do. And she reached in her purse and pulled out a bomb that she's been ordering and having sent, paying ridiculous amounts of money for it, because she is several months post-operative and she can't use certain drugs, and she's using it for pain relief. When I was speaking to her and I saw that, my belief level went up. When I speak to people and I find out that there's this undertow out there, people are aware, there's a general awareness but not a specific awareness that CBD oil has remarkable properties, growing knowledge, it makes me confident about the increasing groundswell and being in front of this opportunity to be part of something that goes from obscurity to popular. When something stops being obscure and starts to become popularized, when we are among the reasons that happened, once again, that creates an opportunity not just to generate income but to create wealth. When I use the product offering, I build my belief. When I get a better night's sleep because of the product, I build my belief. When I have a gap because of the product, it builds my belief. And because my belief level is high, my activity level is high. And because my activity level is high, then the results are great. Step number 5 is build belief. Step 6, this initial candidate list, I like to make this very, very simple. We don't need to invest a lot of time writing down a list of 100 names. What we do need to do is write down a list of 3 or 4 we can talk to today or tomorrow. And then tomorrow, write down a list of 3 or 4 that you can talk to that day and tomorrow. And the next day, write down 3 or 4. What I like is a living, breathing, active, moving candidate list that is fresh, that is current, and that we're acting upon every day. If I could snap my fingers and cause you to know this the way that I do, if I could transfer my experiences at this company since I began doing consulting for them back in December, if I could transfer that to you right now, your belief level would be really, really high, and your candidate list would be really, really big. At step 5, do all that is required. Do independent internet searches about CBD oil and its effects on every kind of illness or horrible health situation you can think of. Take a look at what the independent research is on CBD and Parkinson's. Look at the independent research on CBD and helping people get through chemo. Look at what the internet has to say about CBD and ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease. Look at CBD and Alzheimer's. Any time that we spend learning about the growing body of knowledge, and when we see the breadth of issues that this product effectively addresses, and when we see that we get a chance to be the deliverer of the solution to those problems, then our belief goes up. As our belief goes up, our candidate list goes up, and then we learn how to invite. Now, this invitation process is very simple. It's knowing what to say and what not to say so that we can get out of the way and let a tool start to talk. Now, the tool that I'm going to put in your hands right after this session, I've been recording this, and this becomes a tool. And so I'm going to send you a recorded link to this. And if your prospect wants to know what this is, I invite you to sit right down with them and review this session again. This will wind up being top to bottom something less than an hour. And in fact, it'll wind up being, I'm guessing, about 40 minutes. And in 40 minutes, the person has been given a general idea, an outline of what the business is, what the product offerings are, and a basic getting started walkthrough to show a person how to begin. So this is a tool. We learn how to invite. We learn what to say and what not to say to get out of the way, to let a tool start to talk so that the message can be received by the person who needs to hear it. I will also create very shortly an audio file, just the series of proper things to say and how to say them in order for your candidate to open his or her eyes and ears and be given a chance to experience all that this has to offer. Step 8 is to learn how to present the business through presentation methods that can duplicate soon. And by the way, I'm willing to be there with you. Samantha and I are not just willing but eager. We'd like to come, if not this coming week, the following week. We want to be with you. We'd like to come there and spend a couple of nights and do one presentation in each of your homes. We're willing. The intangible part of this is you caught me at a moment in time when I'm in the absolute launch phase of my own business here, having been on the consultant side with them for a period of time, but not building a distributorship. That started only a couple of days ago, and we are so willing to help you do this, to help you start it correctly. We'll teach you how to build your business through the home business review and one-on-one meetings. Step 8 is not something I propose so much to teach you how to do as to do it with you. As a result of doing it with you, you'll learn how. Step 9 is to understand the purpose and value of each tool in the business kit. You'll each shortly receive that kit. As a result of the decision you made to join Kannaway, you'll receive the kit shortly. When you do, review every single component. Look at it with care, and look at it with a sense of urgency to make sure that you understand what is there. And then I would add to step number 9, it is to understand the purpose and the process of steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Understand the purpose and the process involved in the utilization of each tool that is created, and learn how to do effective new member orientations. Step number 10 is to put 7 through 9 into action. It's for us to get as quickly as we can out of the, in fact, and Kimberly, I congratulate you. You are one who spent very little time thinking about it before you started doing. There are lots and lots and lots of people who spend way too much time thinking and not nearly enough doing, and it doesn't turn their wheel. Kimberly, congrats to you. You've been immediately aggressive, and you are already being rewarded for that. So I really appreciate you sharing a little bit of time with me on Saturday, 4th of July weekend. That evidences your commitment and eagerness to succeed. Kia and Daniel, and I express to you my willingness to be actively involved in your business. Samantha's here beside me. She likewise expresses her willingness to be actively involved in your business. And Kimberly, you of course know that that extends to you. Karna, I extend also my invitation for you to join us. And to each of you, I recommend, I suggest that you treat this as kind of a special moment. It is. We don't get these chances all that often. I won't tell you it's something for nothing. Such things don't exist, but it can be a remarkable, remarkable adjunct to what you're doing financially. It can be an opportunity to break through financially and get to a different level than you've ever been. It's one of those moments, if in fact we each do our part. So with that said, if any of you have a question, you can text it in to me. Otherwise, that is what I wanted you to receive at this point. Samantha and I are going to go and watch the San Diego Padres play baseball. I'll just watch for 1 second and see if I have a text. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording. Everybody, thank you so much.